Okay, we have our little figures finished now, and now we're going to do our painting part of it. Alright. We're going to try to follow as closely as possible the painting of the Indian concerning, this is of course the way he painted it, and we're going to follow that pretty closely, but we're not going to, we don't have to follow exactly the way it has to be. But we're going to try to, because of the wonderful way that Bob did his figures, and he allowed us to do them and made them available to us, I think that we should definitely try to do them that way. First of all, I'm going to use a little black on the hair, so I'm going to get a little black out, and we're going to use a little bit. Of course, we got our water here. You dip it in a little water. Some beautiful days down here in Texas right now, where, of course, everybody knows we are entering this month, next month, and the following month will be our biggest months for hurricane season, and I hope and pray to the Lord that we won't have to go through that this year. We took such a beating last year. This area did. I don't know how much more we could take down here. I mean, as far as another beating like that, but we're just going to trust in our Lord and ask Him to take care of us, because it's. I know I have an 81-year-old mother that I have to look after and make sure she's all right. So it is concern to me, of course. I mean, it's, I've lived down here all my life, and it's hard just to pack up and walk off. I mean, I work down here, of course, too. But okay. We're getting this painted. You simply use water also. You don't. I mean, if you want to put it on full, that's all right. But I always use a little water with my pieces, because when I dip them into the antiquing solution, but I know a lot of you scouts won't be. For a merit badge, you won't be. So use the paint that you want. Use as much paint as you want. Now I can use a bigger brush and get a lot more, but you have to be careful sometimes with a bigger brush. A lot of times what you do is you put too much on at one time, it runs on you, so I have to be careful of that. I don't want it running on everything else, so if you have any doubt, just use a little bit smaller brush, something that won't, there we go. Looking good. Now we're going to go ahead and get the hair down here. These have been two very fun projects. I got a lot of comments on the knife. I think a lot of people have seen me do, Indians or heads before and stuff, so they're pretty common with it. But But those knives are a lot of fun to do. I love to do little simple projects for you that you can kind of do in an afternoon or something like that. A lot of people really love that type of a project because it's fun to do, and it's quick. And I'm gonna tell you something. I made a bunch of little old knives one time, and we were having a little church bazaar or something like that. And I tell you, I got rid of every one of those things. I think I sold them for about for church fund. I think about $3 or $4 a piece or something like that. Sold every one of them, and okay. And the reason I'm kind of careful with black is because black is a very domineering color, and you try not to get it to run on too much stuff because it's kind of hard to get off on there so the domineering way. All right, there we go. How's that look? Gonna have to look good whether we like them or not, huh? All right, now let's see. All right, let's go with our. Let me see here. Let me see. We're gonna go with a little white. Let's go ahead and put a little white on our feather here. We're gonna go ahead and do most all the feather, and then we're gonna come back and let it once it dries and go over it with a little. All right, we're using our white here on the feather. It's like this. These are not difficult pieces to paint. They're not difficult at all. Now see, since white is not a domineering color, we can come back with the red later and kind of brush it up, as we say. Okay. We'd like to get a little more white in here. You notice I use the cap. A lot of people have little easels and stuff, but I just use the cap of the thing itself, and then just kind of put it back in and wash it out. And a lot easier on me. It's just, maybe that's a lazy man's approach to doing things. Now, usually with white, we're going to have to give it another coat, so it's pretty much self-explanatory there. Okay. We'll let that dry. See that? We'll let that dry now. Just one second, let me get something.